Hey everyone, Kosub here with another storage unit that I purchased at auction. Today it is a 5x5 and I saw these cute little sparkly boxes inside and I'm hoping that it might be jewelry boxes. We're hoping that they're not empty. Probably won't see you guys for a couple weeks. I am having surgery in less than 24 hours. After my surgery, I'm gonna be on some weight restrictions and they're getting me right here. And so I may actually lose my voice on top of it. I wanna make this one a good one. Let's get it open and see what we have. This facility is a remote facility, so they do not have a manager or even an employee on site. Instead, they use these little Bluetooth locks. I already registered at the other facility I had to pay at. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my phone up to this little lock right here, and in theory, it should open. First look. Here it is. I spent $120 on all of this. These are the boxes that I saw. This is what I wanted. Are they figurines? It looks like they have little paw prints on them. We have some cookbooks. It almost smells like food or cooking grease in here. That's not necessarily the greatest sign. That says books to read. Okay. I'm gonna get my camera on my little tripod here and start digging in. Just based on the chewy boxes and this little crate over here, it does look like this individual did have pets. I do love pet people, not so much cats. Cats have a tendency to destroy things. Let's hope for a dog. First up is this suitcase, and it does feel empty. It is empty, but it's stylish. For sure. Someone will love that. Rockland. I do see a QVC box. I do like QVC. Let's get this out of the way. Kitchen towels. I think this is a little pet carrier. Okay, first box. Jigsaw puzzles. And that is exactly what it is. It is puzzles. Looks like they've been opened and put together, which makes it a little difficult for reselling because you have to sit there and count and make sure every single piece is there before you can list it. It's not always the most fun thing to do, but that's okay. I'm gonna have time on my hands while I'm recovering. This box says books. And that is exactly what it is. Whimsy clay, shoes, hats, purses, and fragile. Must be Italian. I have actually never heard of these. It looks like they're little figurines. Let's open this up and see what's inside. And it is. That is adorable. It's a little Valentine's Day kitty. How cute. It's funny, in 8 years of reselling, I have never run into these. Just goes to show you learn something new every day. What is that? An old dog can't learn new tricks? Or in this case, a cat. These ones are not marked. It looks like the individual must have wrapped these themselves. It's a little purse. Look at that cute little thing. Ooh, almost dropped it. A shoe. And a hat. Little hat stand. Those are all unmarked, so I'm not sure what that is about, but I suppose that is what the Google image search is for. I single-handedly keep Google in business. Let's get to these little paw print boxes that are over here. I mean, that is the main reason why I wanted this storage unit. Of course, it went for 120 bucks. That's always a reason to purchase in my book, but I'm really curious what is inside this tote. Okay, the top of the tote does say Alley Cats, as does the bottom of this box. Again, something I've never heard of. I'm not really in the cat collecting business, but I suppose I am now. It is a little cat figurine. This one says showgirl. That's her profession. Hobby, aspiring whelp. Weapon of choice, Lady Luck. She's got a little martini in hand. That's my kind of lady. Not necessarily jewelry, rather cats. And maybe I take back my statement from earlier about not liking cats. These are the kind of cats I like. An entire tote full of them. We will, of course, take those home and take a closer look at what I have. If you're new here, usually in my videos, I go through the unit quickly, open up a couple boxes, and then we take it all home and look at it together. This says books, and that is books. This says Alley Cats without tags and boxes. And there for sure are more of them wrapped in the bubble wrap. I'm not going to unwrap each one here because the goal is to empty the storage unit and get out of here like Superwoman. Just fly away. I was never here. What are you talking about? Hats and shoes. I have a feeling these are more of those clay hats and those clay shoes. It looks like it. Yeah, you can see one in there. Let's keep on grabbing. There are a ton of boxes. I love boxes. And in fact, in general, if you're ever looking at purchasing a storage unit at auction, count on about $10 a box. So when you're figuring out what price, what you want to spend, 10 bucks a box. That's a pretty good general piece of advice to follow. And if that's the case, I got a great deal for $120 because that would be 12 boxes. And there are much more than 12 in here. Some of the boxes are a little grody. Michael Connelly, City of Bones, The Dark Hours. So this is books. More books and magazines. Cookbooks. Cookbooks. Books read and unread. Oh, pot holders. This says hats and shoes, so again, it'll likely be a more of those cute little trinkets. This says my books, unread books. This has just a bunch of newspapers or magazines, and I've actually purchased a locker that reminds me a lot of this one. It was an older woman who was a bit of a hoarder, and the way that she hoarded was old newspaper clippings, magazines, stuff like that. It was a massive paper hoard of all things, and it was all stored in totes, and it looked like the totes had been stored outside. Thankfully, these boxes and these totes are not in that condition, but I am getting a general feel for this individual, and it makes me kind of sad. But I'll make sure to take good care of her treasures. So let's continue emptying this one. I may not show you all the boxes just because it seems like the majority say books or cookbooks, or even more of those figurines are apparently empty. This is another empty box. Books to read. More books. These boxes are starting to get a bit of water damage on them, you can see. So, like I said earlier, the other locker that I purchased that was very similar to this, it's almost like history is repeating itself. I've definitely seen this before. It's like tinfoil. Cat toys in here. More puzzles. Oh. All right. I see a lot of Avon. People in the reselling business and collecting business do know that Avon bottles aren't necessarily worth a ton of money, at least not the majority of them, but all of these appear to have their boxes intact and in good shape, so I'm gonna make sure to take a closer look at this box. Now, I just uncovered probably one of my favorite things to buy Christmas, however it's vintage Christmas. There can be some good money in that. I do see some ornaments. In this box right here, can you see what I see? Let's pull those out. That says Candle Cottage. Just some old pine cones. Check those out. Christmas lights. I was hoping they'd be the bubble lights, but they're not. Oh, you guys. I don't think these are shiny bright, but these are. Wow. That is a jackpot right there. My goodness. Imperial collection. I'm gonna have to be very careful with this box, and I'll continue looking through it at home. I don't want to unpack everything just because I don't know that I'll be able to get it back in. It looks like everything has been sitting in here for quite a while. That is definitely an exciting find for sure. Okay, so now I have some fruit boxes. Fruit boxes are amazing, and I love to see them in a locker that I'm going to buy, mostly because a lot of people use them to preserve and protect items that might have a little bit more value to them. I'm likely just going to grab these fruit boxes and put them in my vehicle because it looks like they do have some water damage. So you can see, and I don't want them to fall apart. Really quick, we have some old wrapped items. Liquor bottles. I wish there was a way that you could smell what I'm smelling right now. It just smells like old newspaper. This feels like another bottle. And it is. That is a pink champagne, empty of course. Some of these boxes are going to be so fun to go through. Some more of the fruit boxes that I talked about, pretty fragile. I'm going to turn the camera real fast. These are exciting. I love seaward chests, trunks. Likely what is in there is fabric, but this one, for example, has the key. Those are always really, really fun to open and find, and especially in a unit that has a lot of old items. Oh, I'm so excited. It looks like someone's pulling up, so I'm going to quickly unload the rest of this. Here are some older molds. Magic 8 Ball. Look at that guy. Pineapple. Oh, that one's broken. Paper mache 7 dwarves. That's fun. Looks like there might be more vintage Christmas up in the corner here. This box has seen better days. Gross. Maybe a manger? A Yule log candle holder? Books. Rugs, blanket, old. And that does look old. This says games and puzzles. Yeah, that's a puzzle. Huh. Okay, let's see if we can get a couple of these things out of the way, and then I'm gonna get to these chests here. I had to go home, take a load, and now I'm back. First, this box here, it looks like it is full of older magazines. Are they all Women's Day? They are. They're all Women's Day magazines. Get that out of the way. This IBM box is heavy. Just based on what I've seen, I'm going to assume it's full of magazines, because that appears to be what's happening in this unit. And it is. There's Ladies' Journal, Better Homes. Those are a treasure trove all in themselves. People do like magazines from the 60s, 70s, so that's cool. This box says clothes. That is what it is. But if I turn it, it might be doll clothing. Maybe. Maybe not. I see some fabric scraps, so it might be homemade. I'm going to get this chair out of the way. Look how old this is. Wow. Let's see if we can get into these chests. These first, and then we will open up those. It says dishes and glasses. That's what it looks like it is. These boxes are really fragile. Again, it looks like there may have been some water damage at one point. And so my fear is opening them up here and digging too much. The boxes may fall apart and then I have a much bigger problem. This last one has some more Christmas ornaments inside and some wrapped items. Oh, this newspaper has seen better days. I hate destroying it, but it is falling apart. That is a goblet. And I don't see any markings on it. Get this on the cart, and then I'm gonna flip the camera and we're gonna look inside these chests together. First look. I almost need a drum roll for this. Okay, let's see. Oh boy. Here goes nothing. It is locked. Oh boy. Oh boy. Clothes. I think I knew that though. I did say fabric. It is clothing. It is older clothing, so that's good. Some vintage clothing, vintage cardigans. I will definitely take that. Glamour, campus casuals. This is going to be a treasure trove. One down, on to the next one. This one is also locked. Clothing, but amazing clothing. Look at this cardigan. That might be homemade. And look at this matching dress. They are in pretty good shape. It appears this chest has not been opened for a very long time. Wow. Some slacks. Wonderful items inside of here. Even the way that they unlock, it feels like these haven't been opened in forever. More clothing. But man, aren't these amazing? So that's it. Unit is empty. I'm ready to go home and take a look at what I got out of this locker. Good morning, everyone. I am back home now, but I am also about 72 hours post-surgery. I was unable to get my boxes filmed, so they're all currently sitting in there. That part is coming. I didn't want to wait a month before posting another video, so I'm gonna go ahead and make the storage unit emptying part 1, and then part 2 will be going through all of these wonderful boxes. I'm telling you right now, this locker was a time capsule. There was some newer stuff in the front, but once I got to the back, the meat on the bones, some of these boxes are pretty amazing, and I can't wait to show you what they are. Part 2 is coming as soon as I can lift. I'm not showing you my incision. It's a pretty big one. It ended up being a little bit bigger than anticipated. Recovery is going pretty well, but I am taking my time. I will see you guys soon. Stay tuned for part 2.